Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are still here, still selling real fake doors, and today we're going to be making some carrot fritters. I'm filming this after Thanksgiving, and I was inspired to make some sort of long weekend, post-holiday, post-hangover food, and fritters were the perfect cure for that. Along with the fritters, we're going to be making an apple cider rum cocktail, so be sure to stick around for that as well. This recipe is going to make about 12 small, medium-sized carrot fritters, and the recipe is a combination of a delicious recipe that I found, so I'll be linking that down below, and we're going to make some alterations here, so I'll put my recipe or what you see in this video down below, as well as talking about it here. As you can see, we've already gotten started, and I just beat together 3 eggs with some salt and pepper. In that bowl, I've got about 6 large carrots, so about 24 ounces of carrots, which I shredded with my best friend, the cheese grater. And we're just going to mix those up together. This kind of felt like a lot of egg, but once I fried them, if the mixture is a little bit wet, don't worry, it's going to be fine. Now we are adding in about a 1/4 cup of fresh chopped scallions here, followed by, that looks like a 1/2 cup. It's supposed to be like a cup of chopped cilantro in the original recipe. Oh no, I totally lied. It's supposed to be a cup of chopped parsley, but I didn't have fresh parsley. I also hate cilantro, so I subbed in 1/2 cup of basil. If you wanted some more green in there, you could add whatever greens you like. Now I'm gonna struggle. Come on. Oh my gosh, be better. And also get super mad at how hard that was to open. That was much longer than what you saw here. And that was about a teaspoon of chili garlic paste. Again, the original recipe calls for something different. It calls for a red chili. Sub in any sort of hot sauce or hot pepper that you like. This stuff is delicious. I can find it in my local grocery store with all of the Asian condiments. It's just like chili paste and garlic mixed together. It's divine. Now we're adding in a 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs and a tablespoon, I needed to measure that while we were recording this, of orange juice. You can also add in lime juice, that'll be good, but I didn't have a lime, so we did orange juice. We're gonna mix that together, and I could definitely tell that it needed more breadcrumbs, so we ended up adding in about a full cup or 3/4 of a cup here, and later you'll see that we're gonna add in a 1/2 cup of flour as well. Test it out with your hands to see if it's the consistency that you like. It can still be a little bit sticky as long as you can form it into a nice patty like we see here. If you're making your own and there's any question, always go ahead and add your dry ingredients in a little bit at a time. It's much better to just add it in slowly than end up with some like dry, crusty situation. All set. Alright, and now we are going to take some oil and heat it in a nice thick skillet. I used olive oil. It has a very high temperature once it gets heated. You can use whatever oil you like. And once you get that going, you're going to want it to be at like a medium-high heat. Throwing in a little piece of carrot here to see if it's ready. When it bubbles up immediately, you'll know that it's ready. It was about almost done there. I waited a little bit. It's a little golden now. Time to form your patties and drop them in. If you saw my sweet potato hash browns video, I probably mentioned that you don't want to overcrowd your pan when you're frying things. This pan seemed to fit about 4 medium-sized patties at a time so that the oil doesn't get too cool, and then, you know, everybody has enough personal space. Still 2020, we know all about personal space. Gonna let those bad boys simmer for about, it seemed to be about like 2 to 3 minutes. Keep your eye on them, of course. Don't walk away from the oil. I was listening to some Darkness Prevails creepypastas and spooky true horror stories while we were doing this and walking away, and I was still in close, proximity. It's fine. After 2 to 3 minutes, give those carrot fritters a flip. Promptly drop your spatula in the hot oil before you take them out, and I have a paper towel lined plate over off there. I didn't want it too close to the flame, and I'm just putting those on there so some of the grease can drip off. Now I'm just showing you round 2 here, forming another batch of patties. The oil heated up pretty quickly. Just make sure it's hot enough again to drop those patties in so they don't fall apart. And you're just going to repeat the same process. Fry those for about 2 to 3 minutes on either side. Make sure to chase your fritters around the pan to make yourself look silly, especially when you're recording a video. There you go, Chief. Alright, good job. Alright. And 4. There you go. 4. Good job. Okay. Again, don't walk away from hot oil. I was in the room, but I was walking away a little bit. Don't walk away from your oil. Alright, we plop those over to the plate over there, and I will spare you round 3 of frying because by now, I think you've got the picture. This made 4 more. In total, we had 12 carrot fritters. Take your hot oil off of the flame, and there we have it. Now we're going to be making a little dipping sauce. I'm just doing like a spiced up hummus, working off of some hummus I already had that I really needed to eat. I did about a 1/4 cup of that. Added a little more tahini to loosen it up just a little bit, and later I added some water, followed by 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, it was the right decision, don't worry. Then we added about a 1/4 teaspoon of that chili garlic paste, again to complement what was in the fritters. You can use whatever you want or just eat these bad boys as they are. Sour cream is a good easy option, or ranch if you have it. I love hummus and carrots, and like I said, needed to use the hummus, so work with what's in your fridge. That is how we roll around here, and again, video after video, I hope you can see that. Also, don't underestimate the power of a mini whisk, okay? Now we are going to be making our apple cider rum hair of the dog cocktail for your brunch. I am making a cinnamon sugar rim. I'm getting the top of the glass nice and wet by rubbing a little piece of apple around it. If you have caramel sauce, you could totally do that. A couple of ice cubes.
2 shots of vodka.
Alright, it should be like 1.5, like a shot of rum in there. Stir that together with the ice cubes. If you have a shaker and you want to use that, go right ahead. And then I topped it off with some apple cider. I decided to be fancy after this, and we're going to put in a little cinnamon stick and an apple garnish. And there you have it, a nice fall cocktail to complement a nice fall brunch. Before we wrap this up, I just wanted to insert a little footage of how I made this apple cinnamon infused rum. It is incredibly simple. It is exactly that. It is apples and cinnamon and your choice of rum. I found this vanilla rum in my local liquor store that sounded too good to resist, and I chopped up a whole apple. This is a 32-ounce mason jar, and that actually is 32 ounces of rum. So it was 1 apple to 32 ounces of rum and a whole cinnamon stick, and you're just gonna let that sit in there. I mean, the longer the better, as long as your apple's not gonna go bad. I would say 5 days is like perfect, and then you can kind of drain it out and use it as you like. That's it. Super simple. Apples, cinnamon, rum, and that's what we mixed in with our apple cider to make a nice apple cider rum cocktail for the fall. And here we have it. I'm just making these nice and pretty, drizzling some of that tahini dressing over some carrot fritters, olives, and roasted tomatoes. A little extra salt on a hungover morning never hurt. Thank you guys so much for watching, anybody who's seeing this. And now we're just gonna do a little shot of what we've got today. These are so delicious. Again, the original recipe will be linked down below, as well as the modifications that we made here. It's always a great idea to use what you have in your kitchen. Have fun in the kitchen, and I hope to see you again.